Hey buddy, I'm here back with another tutorial. This time it was a request for a collision box. A subscriber, I'll link his question down below or somewhere on the screen, but he actually requested, okay, if I am to create a FPS or a very similar game where I'm shooting a character and I need collision boxes to actually activate something, like if I do a headshot or an arm shot or something like that, how do I set off certain animations or certain things with that? Now, this tutorial specifically goes into collision boxes. Now, in the 90s and even up to today, they have certain parts of the 3D model's body will have certain collision boxes that will activate certain stuff. So, an update that happened last year? Yeah, last year or early this year was the ability to join stuff to bones. So I've added a couple cubes to this character's bones, skeletal bone structure to then activate certain stuff. So I have a cube attached to his head, and I have another one attached to basically his spinal area, which will trigger certain animations. Now this is and I did different animations so you could see it working. It's not perfect. I intend to actually do a part 2 to this where it's more refined because I spent all day on this. But it works, and if you take this and move on with it and continue it, you can actually make it work a whole lot better, because I actually intend to do cubes along his arm and then on his hand, so I'm not going to do individual ones for his fingers, but one's for his shoulder area, one for his actual arm, and one for his hand, and then two for his leg, and one for his foot. So I have a pretty decent collision box makeup, so if you shoot anything, that part will actually trigger an animation. So I'm going to show you what exactly happens in the game. So I'm actually going to make this screen a little bit bigger. So we're going to go into Windows, and we're going to do 1440 1080 by 720. Okay, anti-aliasing. There we go. Okay, we've got everything good. Now we're going to run it. Say, here we go. Now, if we shoot exactly, that triggered an animation, and then he went back to his running. If I shoot his head, he goes to a death pose, and then he goes to a running. And I'll show you how I got that set up. Alright, so real quick, I have a terrain mesh so I can edit it and do all that nice stuff. So in case I wanted, make this area like an actual FPS area, I could do that. So that's what I did. Then I have a 2D mesh, or not 2D mesh, a 2D GUI item, and I just put that roughly where my edit this to be a little bit more precise. So it's actually going to be like a plus sign or whatever, a cursor or whatever, so you actually can shoot, exactly what you're going to be aiming at. So it says, when clicked on this item, shoot, and so it's going to shoot a scene node, cylinder 2, action on impact, there's nothing, shoot from the current AI or camera. Now what you're going to do, and I'll actually bring in another animated item, so I'll have this animated sleepwalker dude, animated man. So I'll have this animated dude, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right on him, and then it says modify selection, open animation editor, attach a node to an animated joint. So we're going to do that, and we're going to say I want something to attached to his, I want his head. Head, mid, head. So veteran 01, head, mid. So it's going to say that, and then I'm going to hit OK. This will create a folder under the animated object of man in which you can apply stuff to it. So I'm going to insert a cone. So there's our cone. Now it's not attached to it, but I'm going to click on this and drag it into the folder of head mid. It's now attached to that area, and I can now move it to that area. Now what we have to actually do is right click on it, modify, flip direction of the area. He's now a cone head. But if I wanted to, I could go to materials, make transparent. Remember, we're just using these as collision boxes to activate stuff. So he's also got a nice little hat if he needs it. Okay. So going over to this one, the original one, we have two. We have mid head and then we have back 4. So under mid head we have cube mesh 1, and on this one, okay, we get nothing on that one. We have the actual code on the actual bullet itself, and then we have the spine. So these two boxes do not have any code on them, but the bullet actually does. It has 2 lines on proximity to do something, so it has to be a distance of 4. So when this bullet is a distance of 4 from this cube, at that point it's pretty much this gonna hit it. Near to what? A C node, cube mesh 1, so that's the head, enters radius, so that's already pretty close. We're gonna do 2 actions. We're gonna set an animation of a animated C node. So it's going to be the soldier, so it's going to animate the soldier to do something, and that something is going to be hit. So we have a list, and I just clicked on hit, and I didn't want it to loop. So the action happens, and then, let's see, it's got 2 actions. It'll do something later. Now do something later is a special ability, and I'll link that down below to a list of free behaviors for Construct 2 that you can just load in. So if you go to your documents, you're going to see Copper Cube, and you're going to see behaviors and then plugins. You're going to drop them straight in. I usually just drop them straight into both. And so on do something later, so that's 10 microseconds. So 1,000 is basically 10 microseconds, so it happens relatively really fast. Do something, set animation. So after he gets hit, he's going to go into, the soldier is going to go into a run. So we know we activated it, and then it's going to go into a run. So you hit him, he runs, say, like you scared him, like he didn't see you or anything. He runs to a place to where he knows he's safe, and then he's going to come back and attack you. Now what we did with the other one, so remember we have 2 lines of code. On proximity to do something, a distance of 4, a C node, that C node will be cube mesh 2, this bullet will enter the radius of cube mesh 2 and have 2 actions. So those actions are going to be very similar to the ones of number 1. Set the animation of an animated to be aim, and then he's going to set the animation 1,000 milliseconds later, so 1 second, I think, to soldier run. So okay, so just to break it down, we hit this GUI gray box, so a graphical user interface, and it's going to shoot from the camera, so basically this camera, a cylinder, this cylinder. So it's going to shoot that cylinder from the said camera, or actually, sorry, this cylinder. So it's going to shoot this bullet cylinder, And when this cylinder bullet is four, it says for what? A distance of 4 away from this, it's going to cause this animated character to do an animation. Now, this isn't technically how you would do stuff. It would be more like on collision. So this box would be like, okay, when this collides with me, I will set the animation. Now, I put in a request for that on the game engine's feature request. So hopefully we'll get some like on collision with said object, do said animation, and then maybe take 20 life health points away from said character. Now, this can be used as a basic Call of Duty or whatever FPS setup, to where you can even have like if you want to have a frag moment to where they all explode, where the character will actually explode, what you can do is have the character be deleted, and these actual cube blocks will contain spare body parts, so he just explodes all over the place. That's if you want it. So yeah, that's gonna be the basic version of basically what happens. So when you shoot the bullet, it gets near the box, it literally touches it, and then it will cause an animation to happen. So if we play this one more time. So we know that it has each action has 2 animations. It will cause the same action of it will go into a he got hit pose, and then it will change into another animation. So he goes and aims, and then he runs, and then if I shoot his head, I hit the bullet. There we go. He goes into a there's his aim pose, and there's his standing pose, and then he both goes into a run pose. There you go. So hopefully you guys liked the tutorial. I'll make it more specific once I finish out the rest of the collision boxes and actually put in a little micro game. Remember to like and subscribe and comment down below if you'd like to see any other requests. I actually did get a bunch this week, so that's actually what I've been doing. I've been building up the demo files and the actual working on how to actually do some of these tutorials, because some of them I haven't done, so I'm like, ooh, more stuff to research and all that stuff. So this file will actually be linked down below for you guys to download and play with. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.